Hello, this is Matt Rogers from Salisbury Elementary School. Today we're talking about Unit 2, Lesson 11. This lesson focused all on word problems and how to read the questions and identify the correct information to complete. So, in today's lesson, we spent some time focusing on, first, too much information, then too little information, and then hidden questions. So in this question, Mrs. Sanchez is putting border around her garden. The garden's a rectangle distance of 12 feet by 18 feet, and the border material is $3 per foot. How many feet of border material is needed? The first thing we did is we underlined the key information, the numerical information in red. So we have the 12 feet, the 18 feet, and the $3 per foot. Then we underlined the question in green, which is how many feet of the border material is needed or necessary. The reason why we underlined all this is now we know how to kind of take it from a word problem to a standard math problem. When I look at question 1, it asks, identify any extra numerical information that is not really necessary. And we know that the $3 per foot was the unnecessary amount because the question asks more or less the perimeter distance of material. When I do the problem to solve number 2, I'll just do the perimeter, which is 18 plus 12 plus 18 plus 12, which gives me 60 feet total. We also, since this was a review concept, we did cover one more problem. So Judy bought a CD for $10, which we underlined 13 songs on the CD, and each song is 3 minutes long. So again, we underlined the $10, 13 songs, and 3 minutes. The question that we were trying to answer is how long it took to listen to the whole CD. That's why we know that with 13 songs, each at 3 minutes apiece, when we multiply that, we get 39 minutes total. That answers our question. We then followed up with a problem with too little information. So this one has campers and staff of a day camp are going to amusement park on a bus. Each bus holds 26 people. How many buses will be needed? We talked about how without knowing the total number of passengers, we're not sure how to determine the number of buses we would need for this class. Again, this comes down to reading the question, getting all of the numerical information and units that we can, and then trying to answer the question from there. In this case, without knowing that total amount, we wouldn't be able to solve it. We chose number 8. Natalie wants to find out how much her cat weighs. She picks him up and steps on the scale together. They weigh 94 pounds. How much does the cat weigh? And in class, we decided that without knowing how much Natalie weighed, compared to how much Natalie with her cat weigh, we would not be able to identify the answer. We did also check and see that if we knew how much Natalie weighed, we'd find the difference or subtract the together weight or the total weight from Natalie's weight to figure out the cat's overall weight. Continuing forward, we also had some questions that focused around hidden questions. For instance, Mrs. Norton bought 2 packages of white cheese with 8 slices in each pack, 3 packages of yellow cheese with 16 slices in each pack. How many more slices of yellow cheese and white cheese did she buy? In this question, while we do have an end goal of trying to figure out the difference between yellow and white cheese, the hidden question down below is how much white cheese do you have? How much yellow cheese do you have? So those two equations of 2 times 8 and 3 times 16 are the hidden questions. You would subtract those two products to figure out your answer to the overall question. When looking at this, we see 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 16 is 48. When we do 48 minus 16, you get 32. So, again, this was a breeze through since we did cover these concepts on Friday last week. The one thing that we hadn't covered last week was these problems of kind of mix between both. So Mr. Collins counts 54 cartons and 5 boxes of paper clips. So each carton contains 8 boxes, and a box of paper clips costs $2. Again, we underlined all of the important numerical information, 54 cartons and 5 boxes, 8 boxes, and $2. Then we underlined how many boxes of paper clips does he have. So if I know the number of cartons and I know the number of boxes and a number of boxes per carton, which would give me the equation 54, which is the total number of cartons. In each carton are 8 boxes, so we'd multiply that. And we had an additional 5 boxes. The unnecessary information there is the $2. When I do 54 times 8, you see that I have 432. And then the 5 additional boxes I would add on to that, which would give me 437 boxes. Again, picking out the important information and identifying what you need to use for this equation and solving this problem. Number 17, Miss Washington has 5 cartons of black printer ink. She has 4 cartons of colored printer ink. Each carton contains 48 cartridges of ink. How many ink cartridges are there in all? Again, underlining the key information. In this case, we ended up breaking it up into the number of black printer cartridges and the colored printer cartridges and multiplying them independently by 48. We could have added 5 and 4 together and just done 9 times 48. But in this case, just to show the process, we also completed the rest of this problem using our expanded notation. So 5 times 40 is 200, 5 times 8 is 40. When I add those up, 240. 4 times 40 is 160, and 4 times 8 is 32. When I add those two up, it's 192. When I add both the partial products, I get an answer of 432. The final thing that we did for 2-11 was this puzzle penguin. So puzzle penguin has us follow the process to try and figure out what did our troubled penguin do wrong. In this case, we have the digits 608 multiplied by 3, which gives us an answer of 1,864. And when I look at that, I realize that I did something wrong. What happened was when I did 3 times 8, I had 24, so I carried the 1 to the top of the tens place. For Puzzle Penguin, he decided to multiply 3 by 2, whereas that's only a carried number. That needs to be added to the partial product. In actuality, we should do 3 times 0, which is 0, and then add the 2 to it, which changes our answer from 1,864 to 1,824. So that's the error that Puzzle Penguin had in his answer, and if you just completed the problem alongside with him, you would have known. This was, for the most part, a review of some of the concepts we covered over the weekend, on Friday and the homework this weekend, but we will continue to work with word problems, specifically multiplication, for quite a long time. So feel free to watch this video as many times as you need, and hopefully this helps you understand what you've missed or were confused about.